That was great. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gulli Briem, all the way from Budapest, originally from Iceland. How's it going, man?
Great.
Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and thanks for the invitation. It's been great so far, and wonderful thing you've created here. It's just unbelievable.
Well, it's an honor to have you out. We've actually originally met at NAMM last year, and things just worked out, and now you're at Drumeo and teaching a live lesson for us all. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. Now those two songs you just played, where are those from?
This is an exciting moment for me, actually, because these are from a brand new play-along app for drummers.
Okay.
It's called Groove Clicks, and it's going to be out at the end of this year or beginning of next year.
Okay.
And the
so
guy
2017, early 2017.
Yeah, probably something like that. The guy who I met at NAMM as well. You meet everybody at NAMM.
Of course. Yeah.
Jay Oliver, a keyboard player, arranger, composer, just one of the most talented people I know. And for those who don't know Jay, he's worked a lot with Dave Weckl on his albums and his music. So
very cool.
So he played me some of his stuff at NAMM, and I was really blown away by the quality, and so we decided to team up, and I'll be playing some of Jay's songs from the app.
Very
here.
cool. So we got to hear it first.
You got to hear them first. This is like a premiere of the.
I'm a huge Jay Oliver fan, so I'm really looking forward to this app. So it's called Groove Clicks.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out for it. It'll be out early 2017. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're here to teach a lesson called Finding the Flow. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say a huge thanks to Yamaha, Ryan Hamilton, and Sean Brown for hooking us up with this beautiful kit. Check this kit out. It's the new recording custom Surf Green, the color is, right?
Yep.
And it looks a little blue because of our background, but it is a very cool color. Unique drum set. Now, you have one of these at your place out in Budapest as well, right?
I'm getting mine in a couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that.
Beautiful kit. Thanks, Yamaha, for setting us up with that. Also, thanks to Remo for helping get our kit skinned, and Peisty and for helping fly you out for this event, and Vic Firth and everybody like that. And if you guys don't know who Gulli is, you got to check him out online. You can find him at his website, Gulli Briem. That's GULLIBRIEM.com. You can follow him on Facebook at Gulli Briem.com, or on Instagram at Gulli Briem1. The number 1 at the very end of that. And if you guys haven't heard him yet, he's been the drummer for Mezzo Forte for quite a while, which is a jazz kind of funk band. Very cool music they make. He's worked with Madonna out in London in the UK area for a stint of time. You've worked with Earth Affair. You do a lot of clinics in Europe. And you also have a Drum Emotion DVD that you guys can check out. There's some clips of that on YouTube as well that you can find and all that. So you've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and I was lucky enough to be in a band that Mezzo Forte that had a huge success in the mid '80s. Mm-hmm. So we had a hit record.
Yeah.
So we've been touring the world pretty much for quite a while, and it's still going, and it brought me here for sure. So if people want to check out Mezzo Forte, I would suggest they type in YouTube live in Reykjavik. That's pretty cool footage.
Okay.
Sounds really great.
Very
cool. Band is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to you warm up all day, and I know what you're going to be talking about. Very excited for this. So you guys are in for a treat, absolutely. The lesson's applicable for any drummer. But we also have you filming a course with us as well tomorrow called, it's going to be all about hi-hat technique and hi-hat tricks and all that kind of stuff. And you're also giving us a couple of songs. One of them is from Mezzo Forte for Drumeo Edge members as well. So if you guys like this lesson, you like what we do here, got to check out Drumeo.com. We do lessons like this all the time, but we're a community of like-minded drummers that all want to get better at the drums. So definitely check us out there, and you can watch a lot more from Gulli, as well as all the other amazing artists that we brought in our members area. But enough about that. The lesson, Finding the Flow. What does that mean? I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, when we started talking about me coming here, I really gave it a lot of thought about, on what I should present, because there's a lot of information that's already been presented here.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really great, valuable teachings from some of the greatest drummers that we know, who we know. And so I thought to myself, I would like to talk about my own experiences and my own feelings regarding playing the drums and how I have imagined, what it's like to play the mechanics of playing. And this, I think this goes for everybody. And, I was asking this crucial question: what makes some guys better than all the rest of us? And I was sort of stepped aside a bit, and I was looking at some of these guys that we know, and I saw one thing that they have in common, and they all have like this beautiful coordinated movement, let's say.
Before you move on, do you mind just moving your headphones if you're not? They're just hitting the microphone. There you go. Just take them off or put them. Yeah, if you're not using them.
Sorry.
Continue.
And so a perfect example is Omar Hakim.
Yes.
And I was watching Omar Hakim for a long time, and still am. And I was lucky enough to share the stage with Omar in May this year. So I got to know him, and I got to see him play and practice and warm up during a sound check. And he's got this kind of systematic flow and these beautiful moves, which creates the groove and the flow of things.
Yeah.
So as soon as I see someone who has got great moves, I would say like there's a great chance that he is going to sound good, he's going to have that consistency, and that musicality. Because I think that's basically what we're all looking for. That really, to get a really strong hold on music and being able to sort of support it and create that excitement and strength.
Yeah.
So let's get right to this.
Sure.
I want to show you just some of the basic principles of these ideas. And, I want to really try and reach everybody. Like the pros and the guys who are like doing this for fun, and the young guys who, may not even have any drums yet or any equipment. So, I hope you got a pair of sticks. That's a great start. So
Yes.
Let's just say you got your pair of sticks, and if you don't, just grab your pair of sticks right now.
Okay.
And just, I suppose you know how to hold the sticks. And if you don't know how to hold the sticks, I suggest you subscribe to Drumeo, and Dave and Jared and the guys will show you how to hold the sticks.
We got that covered, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're holding the sticks. We're sort of a nice, comfortable position here. And I want to ask you to focus on, we're not playing anything yet, I want to ask you to focus on the upstroke. Just the upstroke, and just stop the stick gently as you're down here. And just throw the stick back, throw it back, not too hard because it's going to be flying in the back somewhere. So just feel that feeling of the upstroke and watch the time when the stick comes back towards the drum. So this is the complete stroke. This is from the time you start and you go upwards and you go down again. And let's move on with this and let's put this into time.
Okay.
Because this is very simple. We can all do this, and I want you to feel that feeling and be aware of the complete emotion. So I'm just going to count. We need the metronome at this point. So we're going to be lifting the right hand stick on 4 end of the count. Right? Are you ready? It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and easy, easy, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, lift 1. Okay? So this is how you get the feeling of the movement of the stick. And this is going to give you a great chance to that you're going to have a nice, precise stroke.
Sure, yeah.
And I would like to add one more thing to this, which is kind of, I think it might be valuable. It's singing the upward movement. Let's try that just for a few times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. 2 and feel the feeling. And 1. Feel the quarter note. 3 and 4. And lift 1 and 2. And one more time. Think. So I'm aware of the time from the time that I'm throwing the stick back until it hits the drum.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so we're fully aware of the complete movement.
Yes.
Let's add the left hand into the equation. So that's going to be lifting on the 2 end.
Okay.
It's a little bit more tricky with the left hand, but anyway. So we've got 3 and 4 and right hand, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, lift, 3 and 4, lift, 1 and 2, lift, 3, and this feels nice. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So this is the basic idea.
Okay.
And I want you to try this just to see how it feels. Because if you understand the feeling behind it, you got the idea. So let's move this on to the drums. And I'm going to play you 3 exercises from the focused movement page. And we're going to start with just a 2-note pattern. It's just a bass drum and cymbal.
Okay.
Okay. And let's just put the metronome on. It's Chris Coleman counting here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you
Polynome,
go.
Chris Coleman.
His first time on Drumeo right now.
Yeah. So this is going to be very, very slow, and just focus on the movement. Stay relaxed.
1 and
2
and
3 and 4
and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
So this was the very, very basic. And let's move on to number 2, the
Okay.
four-note phrase. It is bass drum, cymbal, snare drum, and hi-hat with the foot. And pay attention to your upstrokes, absolutely, and feel that feeling.
1 and
2
2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2.
Okay, so that was the four-note phrase. And now we're going to play the 8-note phrase.
Okay. So the
And,
next one on the sheet music.
You can get these on the page. You can download
Yes.
download these.
PDFs are included in this lesson, guys. Make sure you download them. We're not going to go through every single one of those exercises. There's also a couple charts in there for some of the songs that Gulli is going to be playing at the end, but you can see all the stuff here.
Okay, let's
1
go.
and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 1 and 2.
Okay, so these are the basic ideas. As you saw, I was totally focused on the upward movement. And this is going to give you a great chance to get a great sound and be consistent and feel that awareness of having a nice flow, because we are finding the flow.
Is it better to practice this slow or fast? I noticed you had it at 55 BPM there. Is that specific for a reason, or?
I find it more valuable to slow it down.
Okay.
Because I think if we can play it really slow, we have a much better chance of playing it faster. at a later stage. You know, but we're not focusing on any tempos or any speed at this moment. We're just focusing on the idea and the mechanics of it.
So how often would you practice? Say you have like an hour-long practice session. Would you dedicate a lot of time to just finding these kind of motions and practicing these exercises?
You could do. I was inspired by a guy, half Icelandic, half American guy, whose name is Pétur Östlund, and he was showing these kinds of ideas, you know, in the late 70s when we were really like teenagers, and so he was all about those up movements and you know, this controlled playing and balancing and coordination and stuff like that. So I have to credit him for inspiring these ideas, and in fact I think he's made a DVD on the subject, and I haven't seen it, but I'm excited to see that. And it's all about the mechanics of movement.
Yeah, okay.
To conclude this part of the lesson, I would like to play you something that I wrote specially for Drumeo. And this is something you can download here, and you can download the grooves.
Yes.
And I would like, this is called The Ocean, by the way, and I would like to dedicate this to Johnny Craviotto.
Oh, cool.
Who just passed away recently.
Yeah, that's
and,
right,
beautiful soul, and I will miss him. So I want to play you The Ocean, which you can download and you can have fun with it.
Yeah, if you guys are Drumeo Edge members, we're going to release this as a play along, so you can download the drumless version along with the chart too. And I guess I'm looking forward to focusing on your motions and seeing how you flow with this.
Yeah, this is all about movement. It's all about flow.
Cool. What a cool track.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. It's you can see that flow there. It's tough with a song like that. Tendencies are always to wanting to speed up.
Yeah, it's slow.
But you have a lot of
so
patience.
you need to relax into it.
Yeah.
Not to speed it up and tense it up. So you need to stay relaxed.
Absolutely. Well, I can see that you guys. Again, if you're a Drumeo member, you can download that and all. If you don't mind, if you just take off those, just so it doesn't scratch on the lapel mic there. But okay, so what about like phrasing in a flow? We talked about that before the lesson.
Yeah.
How do you incorporate that into this?
Well, years ago, I'm classically trained, because at the time there was no real like drum set education available in Iceland. So there was like classical methods that I learned and we all learned with guys who were playing.
Yeah.
And like the snare drum books and the key mallets and that. And so one time a friend of mine showed me a 5-stroke roll, but it was like a reversed 5-stroke roll.
Okay.
And to me that was like, what's going on here? Because instead of the 2 doubles and a single, there was like 1 single and the doubles.
Yeah.
So, but I got into it and I found this exciting, and I realized that it came from Gary Chaffee's, books.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, I wrote Gary Chaffee a letter. This is before internet, guys. This is before mobile phones. So I wrote him a letter, dear Mr. Chaffee, I would like to purchase your materials. And a couple of weeks later, he wrote me back a letter saying like, Mr. Briem, I have received your letter. Give me your money.
Yeah.
So, well, not in those words, but, but so I sent the money and he sent me this cassette tape, VHS cassette. This is like when you had to, fast forward and rewind and that. And a booklet with a lot of these kind of phrasing ideas and that a lot of people know already. And so I got into that, and it really sort of opened up the door to learning how to mix singles and double strokes, which was totally a revolution for me, and being able to divide the kit into like a right territory and a left territory.
Yeah.
So the right hand is dominating the right side of the kit, left hand is dominating the left side of the kit.
Yeah.
Another guy that really inspired this was Joe Porcaro, because when I went to LA in the 90s, the mid 90s, Joe, he showed us. I was studying at PIT, so he showed us how to play the rudiments in a nice flow, like really open kind of style, and he's just he's a beautiful player, a beautiful soul. And so that sort of opened up a huge channel for me to be able to apply the rudiments. And then I was watching Steve Smith and Vinny and Gad, obviously, and I saw that they were sort of, this is their big book of drumming, like all-American rudimental drumming.
Yeah.
Taken to the highest level.
Yeah.
And so what I want to do, moving along, how are we doing for time anyway?
Great, man. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
4:30.
So I want to show you just a couple of these ideas, but I would suggest that if you really dig in this thing, you should check out Gary Chaffee's materials, because they are the huge value in those books. And so I want to show you like 3 different groups, how to play them as groups and to combine those different phrases together. And so let me start with the 3s.
Okay.
And the 3s can be played as triplets, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the.
Yeah.
Or they can be played as a flow of 16 notes, which then they're going to 3s are going to resolve in every 3 bars.
Yeah.
So let me just play that very quickly so we just get the idea. And let's just put the metronome on 100. Chris Coleman,
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and
Okay, you
4
got it.
and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2
On the
and
left,
3 and 4 and 1
we
and
got the
2
one.
and 3 and 4 and
Okay,
1
so the next
and
one would
2
just
and
be
3 and 4
left-hand
and
lead.
and
All right. Okay. Okay, forget that. From the left hand. So it goes 3 and 4 and. So it's always one single and then a number of doubles. Moving right along to the fives is one single and then two doubles. So we're always going to be alternating between the right hand and the left hand lead.
Okay.
Okay, so it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the fives. They can also be played as a flow of 16 notes, resolving every 5 bars.
Okay.
Moving right along to the sevens, there's one single stroke and 3 doubles, always leading with the same hand. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and. From the left hand. And this would resolve as flow of 16 notes every 7 bars.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along, let's combine some of these figures. I want to combine 3s and the 5s.
Okay.
Show you how that works in a groove situation.
Okay.
First on the snare drum, it's like going to be 3-3 and 5-5. So it's going to be 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1, 2, 3, 4. From the left hand, 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's put that onto the cymbal and the snare drum and the bass drum. We're going to throw a couple of bass drums in there.
Okay.
Right hand on the cymbal, the left hand on the snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how that goes. And obviously, the big idea is to improvise these figures, you know,
Yeah.
on cymbals, on toms, and you know, even as grooves. And this is going to really help to open up the possibilities of being able to move around the kit and mixing the singles and the doubles.
Gotcha.
So this helped me so much in finding a flow and finding a sort of a relaxed approach into playing all these different figures and even, you know, soloing and grooves and all that stuff. And sort of, you know, because I always try to stay relaxed. You know, I always try to stay relaxed and make things as musical as possible. So let's, I'm going to play you some of these figures as they are, like 5s, 7s, and 3s. I'm going to play 3-bar grooves, and this is on the chart.
It is, yeah.
PDF.
6, 7, 8. Are you going to do each one back to back? Are you going to start?
Yeah, I'm going to do start with 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to just go straight through it.
Okay.
So for those who are able to read, great. If you don't know how to read, find someone to help you to read.
There you go.
It's going to help a lot, you know. Okay, so 3 bars of groove, and then it's going to be the phrases. So we're starting with exercise number 7.
There we go.
Okay.
That is great.
So these are I mixed up. I played this one again.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded great.
So for me, when I learned how to do this, everything seems to sort of loosen up so much.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to start a war with the drums. Where you want to make peace with the drums and just make them your friend.
So, question for you about how to practice and approach this stuff. What would you recommend, especially for someone who loves your playing and loves how fluid you are? How would you recommend someone start practicing this concept?
Well, I would start with just a practice pad.
Okay.
Just getting those figures nice and even with the metronome.
Yeah.
And then sort of just slowly, if you have a kit, that is, just slowly sort of move the accented notes, the beginning of each group, to a crash cymbal or to a tom or, any sort of part of the kit that it might sound good to you. So that's what I would do. But I would do this slowly to get the figures really sort of even and flowing.
Gotcha.
And so these ideas, they completely freed me up, in order to be able to play a lot of different motions and phrases. So do it. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff.
Can I hear number 10 one more time? I really like that one.
Oh, you like the 10?
I love number 10.
Probably the hardest one.
Could be.
Yeah, 10 is
60 note triplets, quintuplets.
Sextuplet, quintuplet, septuplet.
Love it.
Yeah, it's almost like sounds like Zappa or something.
Yeah, right? The black page.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do that. Number 10 again.
All right.
1, 2.
It's so cool.
It's almost like it's speeding up.
It does. It has that feeling where it's like dragging you, but then it catches up. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty much concludes the phrasing section. And where are we? We're going to play the last track.
I would like you to do a little solo or something.
Yeah. We're going to do.
Just to show us. I want to see your fluidity just while you're improvising. I don't know if you have a click track you want to use. Or...
Yeah, I have something here that is not on the website, but I'm going to jam a little bit through these ideas just for a couple of minutes.
Let's hear it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's awesome. By the way, guys, he's using it as a Roland SPDSX there, and a huge thanks to Paul and Darren for helping save us with that power cable that
Exactly.
kind of broke on there. But that's a great little machine. You have all your play-alongs loaded in there. You can do some pretty cool things with that. Awesome stuff, man. Hey, a question that I have for you is what do you do when you lose the one? Because when you're doing stuff like that, you're constantly changing where that accent is, and I can find it very easy to lose where that one is.
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
Well, I mean, I have a click going through my head.
Yeah.
You know, which you couldn't hear. Sorry about that. So, you know, I think once you've practiced the groups in a flow, in a flow of 16 notes, you're going to be aware of the one of the quarter notes.
Okay.
But it really helps to, you know, have like a strong pulse to sort of guide you through it in case you get lost.
Yeah.
But this system is exactly for not getting lost, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. So once you get used to playing the groups, you it starts to feel natural.
Yeah.
And so it's
Just make sure you're practicing with
an amazing tool.
Yeah. We have time for some questions here, so if you guys do have any questions for Gulli, get them in now. I have one right up the top. This one's from Kirk. He says, Gulli, how are you so relaxed and confident? Do you meditate to relax?
I do meditate, as a matter of fact.
Yeah?
I do some yoga as well, and you know, I just try to stay relaxed, you know, all the time.
Yeah.
As relaxed as possible. I mean, it wasn't always like that. I mean, I was very tensed, you know, for a long time in my career, and then I sort of started to want to have more control and stay relaxed and keep breathing and learning those technical aspects of drumming that you need to be able to stay relaxed, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know certain techniques, it's very difficult to stay relaxed. But then again, you know, there are drummers who stay relaxed and they don't have a hell of a lot of technique. So it's like an awareness and just be really aware of the movement.
Yeah.
And just think of it like, ask yourself, is it flowing? Is it musical? You know, is it dynamic? And great ways to record yourself, you know, video.
Yes.
So I would say, think about staying relaxed and practice slow. It's a great way to stay relaxed, you know. Practice really slow. It's a bit hard, but I think once you get used to it, you can sort of feel the feeling of going slow and then gradually build up some more speed.
Well, I like what you were talking to me about in when we first met the other day, when you're lifting your stick up, considering that as the 8th note. You know, even the first exercise you're doing, you know, the and one, and two. Because a lot of drummers, they always just think about the note they're supposed to hit, not the note leading up to what they're supposed to hit. That's a change in perspective almost. Some drummers need to have.
You want to use the weight of the stick and the velocity of the stick to help you to generate that power.
Yeah.
But that relaxed power. I mean, Thomas Lang is great at this, you know.
Yeah.
And he told me years ago that the reason for him using this big stick is to, you know, not having to strive, not having to work so hard, you know.
For the power of each.
Yeah, so he gets a lot of power with the movements and with the stick. So he's on it. You know.
Very cool. A couple more questions. This one's from Sherry. She says, thanks for the awesome lesson. I've always wondered how drummers did this kind of stuff. So she just wanted to say thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Sherry.
Here's one from Brewer. He says, what would be a good warm-up exercise in which you can change the accent for stuff like this? I have a habit of always playing the snare on 2, 3, or 4.
You mean displacing the accents?
Just maybe a good warm-up exercise is maybe even using some of the patterns that you were teaching on the phrasing. I don't know.
You know, what I do is to warm up and to sort of get relaxed. I just like mix three, twos, threes, and fours.
Yeah.
In all different ways.
Yeah.
So like just like really open kind of, open kind of feeling. Again, always pulling the stick up. And then I might go like triplet. And then fours. But using the bounce and using the fingers to help out, You got to use the whole, the complete system, the arms and the fingers, finger control,
Yeah.
and your wrists. So I would definitely, there's the book Syncopation, which was very, very useful.
Yeah.
Stick control.
Of course. Yeah.
But honestly, I would check out some of Gary Chaffee's material. If you're not familiar with it, I would check that out, because that's going to help you to generate that feeling of phrasing and putting your accents and your snare drum accents in different places.
Very cool. Here's a question from Geff, and he says, about exercises 1 to 3. When speeding up, should I try to keep the same amplitude in my arms to keep the flow? Because generally, the faster you go, the tinier the movements. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point. Absolutely. When we start to go faster, the movements get less. It gets less. And so, but at this point, I would totally just focus on playing slow and working out the mechanics of these principles. And once you're really comfortable with it, you can sort of create your own patterns and come up with your own ideas in creating these sort of independent feels. But I think, this puts together the hands and the feet in a nice sort of relaxed way.
Yeah.
But the key is to start simple. Simplify. I'm all about simplifying, like everybody else is like, more chops, more speed, and more this or that, more technique, and it's great for certain things, but it's just a beautiful feeling to be able to play slow and get that sort of big sound and allowing each voice to be heard. Each drum, each pitch, each little china, little bell, That's my thing. I totally dig that. And I would advise you to just try out some of these ideas.
It comes across in your playing big time. Yeah, you got a nice flow to your playing. Speaking of that, and actually, we've had a lot of people question about the cymbals here. So Dave Warfel says, I like the jungle of cymbals on your left here. These are all Paiste cymbals. A lot of them are the Formula 602s. But what do you have up here? Your little tree of China.
This is, I call this Chinatown.
That's great.
And well, I've been sort of Paiste. I've asked them to make me different sizes of those. These are 2002s.
Okay.
And they're prototypes, mini Chinas. And I love I'm able to expand the range of the kit with these little cymbals. And especially, when I'm moving on to the side snare, which is kind of high-pitched piccolo sounding drum.
Yeah.
That can be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you that later. In a minute.
Very cool, yeah.
So when you're over here on that small drum, you can really have a lot of fun with these little China splashes. So these are 2002s prototypes, but I think you may be able to special order them.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more expensive, but...
just say Gulli sent you.
Yeah, tell them that I told you to.
You
sent you.
Same with this surf green drum kit, the recording custom, guys. Yeah. That's a sick looking kit, and it sounds great. So,
well, we were talking about whether we should give something away, like sticks or something, and we talked about that. And I said, you remember I said that, like,
give away the
just
kit.
Give it away the kit.
I'm sure I would love to, but I would give it to myself first. That's the problem.
So when Yamaha comes to pick it up, and so where's the kit? We gave it away.
I thought that was the agreement, right? Yamaha's great with that stuff, though. I'm sure they wouldn't mind too much, right? Right? Okay, there's a couple other questions, but we are running low on time. Everyone watching live and watching this on YouTube, we do Q&As with the guests that we bring out on the Tuesday. Obviously, these live lessons are usually filmed on Monday, but we never have time for all the questions, and it's something that I always hate leaving those out. So what we're doing is tomorrow, we're going to be doing a Q&A, and if you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you want, you can catch that in Drumeo in the members area. So for all you guys who didn't get your questions answered, I will ask them tomorrow, and if you guys are watching and you are Drumeo members, be sure to come out tomorrow for a Q&A. We're also filming a course with you as well, and some play-alongs that you're going to offer for the students as well, which is really cool. Yeah. But before I wrap it up, and before we wrap this up, is there anything else you wanted to add to this lesson, maybe to wrap up what you have been talking about this time here?
Well, I mean, one of my favorite phrases that I tell people from time to time is from Jim Rohn. And it goes like this: the pain of discipline weighs an ounce to the pain of regret.
Ha.
So,
Love that.
discipline is the key. Disciplined practice and disciplined mindset, and keeping yourself in a flow, in a musical flow.
Yeah.
Be a nice person. Don't do drugs, and don't go crazy on life, but have fun with it nevertheless.
Love it.
So basically, you know, if you look at all the great drummers of our time, they all have the same story. It's just like a lot of endless practice.
Yeah.
Dedicated practice. And so there are a few shortcuts, but you know, if you're willing to put in the hours, magic happens. And I wish that you would do that. And I wish you lots of success and lots of love and happiness.
There you go. Thank you again so much for coming out here.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. Thanks to Adam Marco, my buddy,
Yes.
for the hookup.
Yes, and we're having Adam Marco out here very soon as well. So
amazing drummer, amazing drummer.
yeah, very cool.
And hello to my family and friends in Iceland, LA, Jakarta, Norway, Hungary, Germany. I left something out? Canada.
Wow. There you go. So you're going to play us out with a mezzo forte track.
Yep.
Correct? Very cool. Again, this is going to be a play-along offered in Drumeo if you guys like it. Huge thanks again to Ryan Hamilton, Sean Brown with Yamaha for hooking us up and helping get Gulli out here. Same with Peisty, Vic Firth, Remo, and everyone. Again, huge thanks to you as well. See you guys all later. I'm going to leave Gulli with you to play us out. Cheers.